Crafting the Spirit of New Orleans, an artisan's tour guide.
Hello there.
Hi, how can I assist you today?
I'll be visiting New Orleans soon during the Mardi Gras, and I've really been looking forward to understanding and capturing the spirit of the festivities and culture. I thought I'd make it a part of my artisan craftwork in some way. Can you help me do that?
Absolutely. That sounds wonderful. New Orleans is a vibrant city with a rich culture, especially during Mardi Gras. It's a fantastic place to find inspiration for your craft.
Great. Could you suggest a few spots which are a must-visit when it comes to understanding the culture and spirit of Mardi Gras?
Certainly. I would suggest you to start at the Mardi Gras Museum of Costumes and Culture. Here, you can see a dazzling collection of elaborate costumes that offer insight into the festival's vibrant aesthetic traditions.
That sounds interesting. I can definitely incorporate these aesthetics into my work. What's next?
Then, you must attend some of the parades. The Krewe of Rex and the Mystic Krewe of Camas are among the oldest and most traditional. They would give you an insight into the rich historical traditions of Mardi Gras. Also, make sure you visit Bourbon Street for the lively experience it offers.
Parades and people. The perfect opportunity to observe the human element of the celebration. Thank you for that. How about places outside the city? Any suggestions?
I would recommend a visit to Lafayette. It's around a 2-hour drive from New Orleans. The city has an authentic Cajun and Creole atmosphere and also celebrates Mardi Gras in traditional style. Also, while there, you can pay a visit to Vermilionville, a living history museum complex that demonstrates Cajun and Creole culture.
That sounds perfect. I'm also interested in the jazz music scene. Any recommendations in that area?
For the jazz scene, the French Quarter has several famous jazz clubs like Preservation Hall and the Spotted Cat Music Club. And don't forget to visit the New Orleans Jazz Museum to understand the city's rich jazz history.
I certainly won't miss those. Lastly, anything else that would help me better understand the general culture and vibe of New Orleans?
New Orleans City is filled with vibrant murals, historical buildings and unique art galleries. Visit the Warehouse District to find several art galleries. Also, don't miss out on trying local food. Beignets, po' boys, jambalaya, gumbo, and crawfish étouffée are some famous dishes in the city. The food here greatly reflects its diverse culture.
This had been really helpful. I can't wait to get started on my New Orleans journey. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Enjoy your stay in New Orleans and the Mardi Gras. If you have any more questions or need further help, feel free to ask.
Exploring New York City. Insights from a local.
Hello. You seem like a local from around here.
Indeed, I am. Lived here all my life in the Big Apple. How can I assist you?
Oh, that's wonderful. I've always wanted to visit New York City. Can you suggest the must-visit places for me?
Absolutely. First up would surely be Times Square. It's full of life 24/7 and you'll get to feel the real New York energy.
Oh yes, Times Square is definitely on my list. How about museums or galleries?
NYC is full of beautiful museums. The Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and the American Museum of Natural History are just a few noted ones.
Great, I love art and history. What about some hidden gems in the city?
You should certainly visit Brooklyn's Dumbo area, named for its location, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. It has great eateries, bookshops, and a breathtaking view of the Manhattan skyline.
Sounds exciting. I'm also interested in theater. Where should I be headed?
Broadway, undoubtedly. Catch a musical there and you'll get a feel for NYC's vibrant theater scene. Book in advance though, they sell out fast.
Noted. What about food places? Any landmarks serving classic New York fare?
Katz's Delicatessen is a real classic for bagels and pastrami sandwiches. For pizza, check out Grimaldi's near the Brooklyn Bridge. Authority on New York cheesecake? I'd say Junior's.
Ooh, sounds delicious. Any suggestions for shopping?
Fifth Avenue is the traditional shopping street with all the big-name brands while Soho offers trendy boutiques. Don't forget to check out the colorful Chinatown and Little Italy for unique finds.
I certainly will. Can you also suggest something for a quiet evening?
Riverside Park. It's a different world altogether. Especially during sunset, it offers a spectacular view of the Hudson River. And you can always escape to Central Park for a quiet, peaceful stroll.
Sounds perfect. Lastly, do you have any tips in making the most out of this New York City trip?
New Yorkers walk fast and are always bustling, but don't let that rush you. Take your time to soak it all in. And use the subway. It's the quickest and most affordable way to get around.
This has really helped me plan my New York City adventure better. Thank you so much.
Happy to help. Enjoy your stay in the Big Apple. It really is a city like no other.
Exploring the Windy City. A deep dive into Chicago's history and culture.
Hello and welcome to our show. Today we have a special guest joining us to talk about the infamous Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. Please welcome renowned historian and author, Dr. Richard Lane. Welcome to our show, Richard.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Why don't we get started? For our viewers who might not be familiar with the nickname, Windy City, could you explain why Chicago is called that?
The term, Windy City, was first used in the 19th century, and it has a couple of connotations. One is the literal weather, as Chicago is indeed quite windy due to its geographical location near Lake Michigan. The other is more metaphorical, referring to the city's history of politicians who were supposedly full of hot air.
Interesting. Now, when one thinks of Chicago, skyscrapers and pizza come to mind. But surely there's more. Could you talk about the key sights and sounds of the city?
Absolutely. Chicago is filled with rich history and culture. The Art Institute of Chicago is a must-visit destination, housing an impressive collection of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist art. The city also has a thriving music scene, especially renowned for its blues and jazz.
That is quite intriguing. And what can one learn about the city's history through its architecture?
Chicago is known as the birthplace of the skyscraper. After the Great Chicago Fire in 1871, which destroyed large parts of the city, there was a need for quick rebuilding. The development of steel frame construction allowed for taller, more fire-resistant buildings. In fact, Willis Tower, once the tallest building in the world, is in Chicago.
How fascinating. Still on the topic of history, can you tell us more about the Great Chicago Fire?
Yes, it was a catastrophic event that occurred in October 1871. The fire killed hundreds and left thousands homeless, destroying a major portion of the city. However, the rebuilding effort after the fire laid the foundation for modern Chicago.
I see. Let's switch gears a bit. I'm sure our viewers are curious about the culinary scene in Chicago?
The famous Chicago deep dish pizza is only the tip of the iceberg. The food scene is incredibly diverse. Chicago-style hot dogs, Italian beef sandwiches, and a variety of ethnic cuisines from Greek to Polish and Mexican. It's a foodie's heaven.
Sounds absolutely delicious. Before we wrap this up, could you share some lesser-known facts about Chicago that would fascinate our viewers?
Sure. How about this? Chicago's Wrigley Field is one of the last major league stadiums to have lights for night games. That only happened in 1988. Also, the famous Route 66 starts in Chicago.
That's interesting. Well, thank you, Richard, for sharing all these fascinating details about Chicago. It's certainly deepened our understanding of the Windy City.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Exploring San Francisco. A chat between a tourist and local.
Hello there. Excuse me, could I have a quick word with you?
Of course. How can I assist you?
I'm actually on a hiking trip around here and I'm truly amazed by the beauty of the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco. As a local, could you perhaps share with me some interesting tidbits about it?
Oh, absolutely. You've certainly chosen an amazing location for a hike. Do you see the unique color? It's not exactly golden but more of an orange-red, known as International Orange.
Wow, that's interesting. How did they end up choosing this color?
The architect was initially going to paint the bridge black with yellow stripes for visibility, but the primer was this orange color. He liked it so much that he decided to keep it that way.
That's pretty cool. How's the upkeep of the bridge?
The weather conditions require constant maintenance. Would you believe that as soon as the paintwork is finished, it is time to start again?
That seems like a daunting task indeed. So, what else should I explore around here?
If you have time, I suggest you visit Marin Headlands. It's an amazing spot for panoramic views of the bridge and the entire bay.
That sounds lovely. And are there any local eateries or cafes you'd recommend?
You should definitely try the Boudin Bakery at Fisherman's Wharf. They're famous for their clam chowder in a sourdough bread bowl. Then, Ghirardelli Square for some delicious chocolate.
Sounds delicious. Thanks for the tip. And speaking of Fisherman's Wharf, should I visit the Sea Lions at Pier 39 too?
Oh, definitely. Locals and tourists alike love watching them. But be prepared. They're quite noisy and smelly.
Haha, I'll bear that in mind. What about the fog I keep hearing about?
Ah yes, our famous fog, affectionately known as Carl. It rolls in quite often, lending San Francisco a beautiful eerie look. But it can get quite chilly, so always have a jacket on hand.
Fascinating. You've certainly provided lots of insight into San Francisco. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy your stay in our beautiful city and come back anytime.
Exploring Denver, Colorado. A tourist's guide.
Excuse me, sir. I'm a traveler from Europe and I'm here to explore Denver, Colorado. Can you guide me through the wonders of this region?
Of course. Happy to help. Start right here, in Denver. It's known as the Mile High City, because it sits at an elevation of exactly 1 mile, 5,280 feet, above sea level.
Oh, that's interesting. Any major sites you'd recommend?
I would start with the Denver Art Museum, one of the largest museums in the West. After that, check out the Denver Zoo and Denver Botanic Gardens.
Those sound fascinating. I've also heard about the amazing wilderness around here, especially something about the Rocky Mountains?
Yes, indeed. The Rocky Mountain National Park is about a 90-minute drive from downtown Denver. You'll witness towering rock formations, abundant wildlife, and over 300 miles of hiking trails.
Sounds exciting. Any particular hiking trail you would recommend?
The Sky Pond Trail is a popular choice. Also, the Emerald Lake Trail is pretty easy and takes you through lovely landscapes and to a beautiful lake.
Great. I'll definitely put these on my list. What about other natural wonders?
Don't miss the Red Rocks Park and Amphitheater. It's iconic for its outdoor concerts, where everyone from the Beatles to U2 has played. When there's no concert, you can enjoy hiking or biking trails around the red sandstone formations.
That seems like a must-visit place. Any other outdoorsy activities that I should try around here?
If you are up for an adventure, try white water rafting on the Arkansas River or zip lining through the gorgeous Castle Rock area. Skiing is also very popular in the winter months.
Wow, that all sounds so thrilling. And, what about local cuisines? Any delicacies that I should not miss?
Try the Colorado-style green chili and the Rocky Mountain oysters if you are up for something truly local. For beer enthusiasts, there's a large craft beer scene. Denver has more breweries per capita than any other state.
I would love to taste local food and drink. How about festivals? Are there any local festivals during the summer?
Oh, definitely. The Cherry Creek Arts Festival and Colorado Dragon Boat Festival are both quite popular. And if you're a music lover, the Underground Music Showcase is a treat not to be missed.
I can't wait to immerse myself in the local culture. Thank you for all these suggestions.
No problem at all. Enjoy your stay in Colorado.